You are in a pit of rants. This one's for Kaiser A, who says, rant about the line between pretentiousness and genuinely trying to get something across but not knowing how the fuck to do it. I mean, that's not pretentious at all. That's the opposite. I would say that pretentiousness is where you think you know what you're saying when you don't. Pretentious is where you are acting as though, you know, the answers that you are giving are like the greatest answers, the ultimate answers, when in fact you do not know what you're talking about. And the difficulty with pretentiousness is that it's really only detectable by people who are not pretenders, people who are in fact able to call out, you know, oh, you are not really this person because if you were, you would know this, this, and this, you know? If you're trying to get something across but you don't know how, I mean, if you're being earnest about it, then that should be, you know, coming across. I mean, it's not... If what you're trying to say is that your expression is very complex and not very lexical, then the measure of how well you've communicated is simply in whether people do or don't understand it. You know, like, if your goal was to make something that everybody understands and you failed to do that, then you were not being pretentious. You were, in fact, being honest and just failing to communicate. If there were people who did understand you and they were just like, you know, in the minority, then it means you didn't fail to communicate what you were trying to say. You just failed to, you know, put it into words that other people could understand who don't already think like you, you know? But, like, pretentiousness is, like, going out of your way to make something more esoteric so that it will seem smarter, you know? Like, if I were to speak... Like, let's say I had a sentiment that I thought was too simplistic to simply state, and therefore I said it in poem form because I wanted people to think that it was more artsy. That would be pretentious, you know? Whereas if I write a poem because I literally cannot figure out how to explain this thing in another form, that is not. So, there you go.